host na.
I'll start now.
Yeah.
Please be seated, we start immediately.
Okay, so good morning everyone. Good morning, Dr. Naval. So I'm going to report our topic, which is about technology. So my title is about paradigm shift in higher education. So my objectives in this report is I will discuss how technology will disrupt education in the 21st century. So what are those instances where technology actually change the landscape in education? Okay? What are those scenarios that happen? Second one is how technology disrupt other industries. So technology is not only happening in education, it is also happening in other industries. So I'll give a few examples about that. And the third one is that I will propose that our educational setup will become obsolete in the near future.
Maybe instead of propose, you say
So I'm sorry, yes, I should predict that the current educational setup will become obsolete in the near future. So without any further ado, let's start my topic. Okay, I want to share this quote from Albert Einstein. He said that if you always do what you always did, you will always get what you've always got. So this is crucial because if within the next few years, the educational landscape will not change, then we'll always get the results that we always got. And I can guarantee you that we all know that our educational system is not perfect. Okay? So we need to do something about that. Now I want to show you this one. This is an activity that I conducted with my students. So here, so what's this class?
Hologram.
Yes, this is my students in educational technology class. So our topic is to develop an audiovisual aids, and this is, I think, the future of visual aids. Of course, how would you be able to capture the attention of your class, let's say high school students? And if you just show them a video, okay, I know that that's a video. I'm always seeing video in our house, in our TV, in our computer, in our cell phone. But if you show them hologram, I'm sure you will capture their attention. Okay? So this is just one example of a very few isolated cases where technology is actually changing the landscape of education. So here, a simple hologram that is being created by students. They actually created this in just less than an hour. Okay, this is an example of a hologram. So that's one. Okay. Based on your how technology is very fast moving in our day and age. Let's say when we were a student, how would you react if let's say your teacher will tell you, okay class, our activity for today is we'll go to create a hologram. How would you react during your time? It sounds science fiction, isn't it? It's mind-blowing. Are you sure, sir? We will create a hologram. So, but during this point in time, all the resources that is already available, and you don't have to spend anything to create this. As in nothing. It costs nothing, zero. So just imagine if our students' activity today is like this one, what will be the activity within the next 5-10 years? So can you imagine that, how technology is actually disrupting the educational system? That's another example.
is that grade 11 or
They are third year BBT students.
because they have
Yes.
what school is that?
College of Education na. BBT.
Teaching.
Okay, So I want to show you this picture of an astronaut. You know, let's say during the World War II, the baby boomer era, when people believe that one day we're going to reach the moon, those people who believe that that is possible is labeled as lunatic, isn't it? Have you heard of the word lunatic or crazy? Okay, so during that time, those people who believe that someday we're going to reach the moon are called lunatic. Okay, so that's why the word lunatic came from that notion. Luna, moon. Lunatic, luna. Okay? So those people who are predicting the future right now, at this point in time, may be also labeled as lunatic or crazy. Because it's hard to grasp what will happen in the future. Okay?
Question, sir. Since there is a very different setup here in our education, not only in the Philippines but also around the world, right? Do you think there's a conflict with what we have right now when it comes to idea? Okay, in the future there will be big changes in the technology, but education nowadays are thinking those people who are thinking in the future are lunatic or crazy people, right? Those people who would like to invent something new or have a big new idea are crazy people. Okay, do you think that there's a conflict between education ideologies and the idea of this visionary people?
Yes, there is. Actually, we can. It's also evident in the research. Because let's say, for example, in the research, you are researching that if actually God exists, but you are in a university where it is dominated by Catholic. Okay, so there is always a conflict. Okay, and it will also be, for example, there is a movement in the physics world, in the science industry right now. There is a movement. It's called Copernican movement.
Okay.
Copernicus is the one who said that the sun is the center of the solar system and not the earth, isn't it?
Yes.
And he almost died proposing that notion. But what happened? He is correct, isn't it? Copernicus is right. But now, there's a current movement that's happening right now in the science world that they are proposing that the universe does not exist. It's just our imagination. There is no such thing as universe. What they are proposing is multiverse. Okay? Now, that may sound out of reach. It's hard to grasp, but only time will tell if they are right or wrong. It's like what happened after.
In educational setup, do you think we need to change curriculum because, just like you said, there's really a conflict?
Yes.
You said that there's scientist people who said, oh, the Earth is not the center of the universe, instead it's the sun, which they said that heliocentric is not correct,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Now, in this era, somebody said, okay, I think cheating inside the classroom is not really existing. Now, when you say cheating, there's exam, and then somebody said, oh, what is your answer number one, right? But in a new type of classroom, there's the so-called collaboration, which is better than the old or traditional way.
Yes, that's right.
So, yeah.
So, what I will be predicting in the later slides is exactly what this Sir Florence is mentioning. What will happen if the entire educational setup will become obsolete within the next few years? What will happen? So I will have a proposal on that. Okay, on the last slide. Okay. Now,
What is the practical implication in our educational system? What is your observation? Are the changes too slow or too fast?
For me, if I think, yeah, you should.
They are inconsistent with the system or with the term also, because every administration they change, they have their platform. Instead of supporting, implementing, there should be a sustainable program, something like that. So it's so sad to realize because of budget, it just only becoming wasted.
Yeah, that's right. I agree. Because maybe our educational system is, they are about to gain momentum. Then on that, about to gain the momentum, then suddenly the next administration will change that. So another jitters will occur. Yeah, create a momentum, the pattern continues. That's why we have a problem with our educational system.
The question is, are we are we really aware that there is also what we call somebody who controls education in the whole world?
Yes.
Yes, because if I am the IMF or the World Bank, who controls the whole money in the whole world, I would really set one education that would not enlighten people, right? So there's the so-called manipulative education in this world. People are asking, we want free education, but why we are not demanding, we want the true education? This is a, we are receiving manipulative education, wherein we are patterned by industry. The industry dictates us. You should not ask questions. You should always follow with your boss. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Right? But look at those people who are out of school. Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. These are people who said education in school, I'm telling education in school, are not necessary for you to become successful. They create their own world. So these, we are in school. I myself is really seeing education is good. Education is necessary. The thing is, there's somebody who is controlling education. And we need to be aware with that.
Yeah, but that should be put into research.
Yes.
Because it would not be 100% accessible to everyone.
Actually, ano
Because
lang, ilan
even
lang.
if
Very
some
few lang.
decisions emanate from the top, there is still so many factors that you have to consider.
Yes.
Take the case of PUP. They have already announced that the opening of our semester, this semester is August,
Okay.
but it was not approved.
Ah,
Only 38 out of 112. Only 38 out of 112 state universities and colleges would like to join. I mean the group. And there are 112, so majority will not accept the August opening. So back to June. Because SUC is an organization, 112. Only 38 agreed, and most of those 38 are from the national capital. But those from the provinces and Mindanao, they don't like. They want to start in June. And I agree to what he said, budget plays a very important role. Because PUP will also lose a large amount of money if it is not going to start by June. Because the students would no longer pay, by August. So the June and July collection would be a deficit in the budget of PUP. And the faculty members would receive their salary without teaching. So that's also something to study very carefully. Because there are no students. So the faculty are permanent people, are permanent, occupied permanent position, they should receive the salary. But what will they do? What will they do? They have already received the application pay, April and May. So June, July, hindi na pwede. Get the point? So you must know also and spread the word that the PUP will start its classes June 19. No longer August. There are so many buzzers, no?
Yes.
But there are also so many buzzers. When PUP announced that the opening would be August,
Yeah.
ang dami ding ayaw. Ngayon, ibalik sa June, ang dami rin. You do that one. But there will be less problems. Almost no problem if PUP will start June 9 than when it will open by August. Teacher displacement, and then budget, and then the transition period. Actually, we accepted grade 11 and 12 only during the transition period. The PUP will already accept freshman students in the college level. If we will already just graduate those who entered our senior high school, grade 11 and grade 12. So, grade 11 and 12 is not continuous with PUP. It will only entertain senior high school during the transition year. And then they go back to the secondary school. Take senior high school. We were just requested by DepEd to host the students senior high school because it's very new and DepEd will not really accommodate all our students in the senior high school. That's the situation. So, who is that?
The Australian.
What is the role of that man? Lunatic?
Yeah, because they said that the one who predicts the future are being labeled as lunatic.
Anyway, lunatic in Tagalog is what? Baliw.
Crazy, yeah.
May topa.
Baliw ba yun?
May topa.
Kasi mapagkabilugan ng buwan.
Sometimes it's just an expression.
Yes,
yes.
They're not so serious about it. Kasi sinabi, oh, may sumpong yan. Parang gano'n na.
Yeah.
Kasi bilugang buwan. Parang ano lang siya, expression. But it's not a very official or formal or real description of a person. Parang kayo, pag pinanganak ng Capricorn, mabait. Pag pinanganak ng April, matigas sa ulo. Pag pinanganak ng September, heavenly. Diba? Pag pinanganak ng May, mayaman. Kasi May. Pag February, kulang-kulang.
Tama. That's stereotype, yeah.
Pag August, mainit ang ulo. Yung mga gano'n, parang gano'n lang expression. It's all up to you to believe. This and that. Because many people are so intelligent. They have so many, like this philosophers, scientists, true to what they said. You always mention Einstein, either as an opening message or closing message in any talk. But look, Einstein was a dropout. Imagine. Bakit nga ba sa Pilipinas to? Nagiging presidente, kahit hindi naman doctorate degree holder. Nagiging president, di ba? Mga barangay captain, mga mayor, mga nagkakalabaw-kalabaw lang sa kung saan. Isa kasi nakakita ako si Jess Abihati dito, leader dito. Sabi niya, ma'am, I am candidating. Sabi ko, ano English mo, I am candidating? Sabi niya, tatakbo ako konsihal, sabi niya. Ma'am, ito ang picture. Sabi pinakita, kay mayor, vice mayor. Sabi ko, ano ba yan? Ano mga itsura ng mga kasama mo? Parang ako mga nagnanakaw lang nakalagaw sa pagkakas. So, natandaan ko. Now, Abinar is a manager. I saw in LinkedIn that he is now a manager of an events, parang events organizer of Abinar. Kasi these are very active people. And we have many successful OU students. We have even medical doctors who finish the med program. Siguro around 30. One is Dr. Norberto Uli. He finished the med program. I was his advisor in his thesis. He is now the Dean of the College of Medicine of UVRN. And he told me, ma'am, hindi ko sinusuot ang program ng medicine. Ang sinusuot ko ay program ng aking med program sa PUP. So he's very proud of wearing the program that he finished Master in Education. So dapat kayo gamitin na. Kapag tinanong kayo kung saan kayo nag-aaral, sina-silent ko ang key. Parang nangyari. Pero mahihiya kasi number 1 ang PUP sa job street.
Yes, ma'am.
Si Richard Gomez ganyan PUP yun pero hindi sinasabi PUP siya. Sinasabi niya UP siya. Si Richard Gomez graduate ng PUP ako. Pero katalino siya. Kaya lang reklamador. Reklamador yun sa may ulo. Estudyante ko siya. Sa isang nagtuturo pa sa atin. Mahilig siya ng basketball. Tsaka hindi pa siya makinis. Gwapo pa to eh. Eh kasi ito mukhang flawless eh. Si Richard Doris naman, madumi yung skin. Siguro parang maitim na maraming ano. Siguro mayaman na rin mga mga diamond pin, dali diamond pin. Ayan, mga tinatanggal yung outer skin. So ngayon, gwapo na si Richard. Pero minsan nasa lumita. Sabi ko, hindi ka nga, baka sinasabi mo, UP ka. Doon, may UP ka. No, sila lang may sabi doon, UP ako. Ito, sabi niya, UP siya. Kaya maganda. Pag nag-graduate ka ng head, pwede ka na. Maganda dito sa PC, sino ba ibang taga-PUP dito?
Walang PUP.
Ikaw, no? If you are in PUP, you are in good hands. PUP faculty members are what we usually call them contented cows. Because even if you are a part-timer, you receive bonus. You receive an anniversary bonus, mid-year bonus, Christmas bonus. And then you can take as many subjects as you like because there are so many students, right? Minsan malalaman ATM, so kaya ganito pera natin. Wala may IPCR, wala may PBB, gano'n. Hindi pa kayo may mid-year bonus. Walang ate, may mid-year bonus. Ay, saan mo yan? Tapos yung anniversary bonus across the board, 20,000. So mag-apply na kayo lahat sa TUC. Hindi, pag natapos kayo lang din, mag-apply kayo sa college of education. Kasi alam niyo, ang college of education, puro matatanda natin siya. I mean, with due respect to the oldies. Yes. Ang teachers dyan by model eh. Alam niyo by model? Mas maraming bata at maraming matanda. Wala sa gitna. Hindi kasi sila nakapag-develop eh. Kasi nga, matatanda. Tayo na rin na isa, may naka-wheelchair na dyan, may naka-baston na dyan. Kasi PUP is a good art for retirees. As long as you can teach, as long as you are not disabled, siguro pag inataka yun, saka na hindi ka pwede. Kasi sa graduates ko, may nagtuturo dyan, 88 years old. Kilala niyo si Rusty Cahatio. Yung artista, di ba? Maganda pa sa TV yung ngayon, natuturo pa sa graduate studio. Pero lagi siyang may kasama alalay. Dito sa undergrad, may nakakita ako nakatungkod eh. College of Arts. Parang meron. Sa graduate school, meron din naka-wheelchair. Okay lang. Kaya lang hanggang ground floor na. Kasi sila yung mga magagaling talaga. You should not underestimate their capability.
Okay. So, now you may say that it will not happen in education. So, some of you might think that it will not happen in our lifetime. But here, on my objective, like I said, I will give example where technology actually disrupt a certain industry. So here is an example of the way we shop. Right? We go to the mall and shop. Okay? So that's how we shop right now. But in recent times, especially in the first world country, UK, US, Japan, South Korea, this is now how they shop. Isn't it? So I read an article a few weeks ago. Actually, the mall industry in Singapore is actually dead already. Why? Because no one's going to the mall anymore. They just purchase using their mobile phone. It will be delivered to their house. It's very convenient.
Exactly. Even in the US, most of the stores of Macy's, they are already closing Tier 2. Even here, no? You do online.
Lazada. OLX, Lazada, Shopee.
Go shop.
Okay, so here we may say that it will not happen, but it's happening already. Okay, so the second richest man in the world, the number one richest man in the world is, we all know it's Bill Gates, right?
Yes.
And who is the second richest man?
Recent.
Yes, he said.
Si Jeff Bezos.
Correct.
Amazon.
Jeff Bezos. Who is Jeff Bezos?
Amazon.
The owner, CEO, founder of Amazon. Imagine that after computer, it's e-commerce. Amazon. He's the second richest man in the world. And who is the richest man in China?
Jack Ma.
Jack Ma. The owner of Alibaba. What is Alibaba? Alibaba is also e-commerce website. So the world is being dominated by e-commerce business. And the traditional way of shopping is becoming obsolete. So what are the chances that it will also the same thing that will happen to education? Okay. So here is, okay, so this is one example of an article from Fortune.com. Consumers are now doing most of their shopping online.
But you should do your online shopping with the reputable,
Correct.
reputable companies. Please avoid the personal, because you will be a victim.
That's why Amazon is booming because they have 100% customer protection. So, laging talo yung seller kapag nagtitinda sila sa Amazon. Kahit sabihin ni buyer na hindi ko natanggap yung item, 100% automatic refund by Amazon. At the seller's expense. So, lahat ng bumibili sa Amazon, 100% sure they will be satisfied. So, that's why Amazon is booming. That's their philosophy. They'd rather make the seller na nagtitinda sa Amazon sad rather than making their customers sad. Because it is the buyer who actually fuels the business. Okay, now here's what I'm proposing. Just like, or I'm predicting. On the previous slide, I showed you people who are shopping in the malls, but it was replaced by shopping online. Now, here is our traditional classroom setup. Okay? So, just like what we have right now, it's our traditional setup. Now, I will be predicting in the near future that this setup will become obsolete. So, are you ready? What will be the one that will replace this setup? Ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so here it is. So, this setup will be replaced by this one. Mobile. Okay, that's all. Thank you, guys.
Daghan salamat.